Okay. Hey, can you hear me? I had to restart my stream, but I'm glad you're here. Thrifty VG. I like that name. It reminds me of the 70s. Oh, good. I had to restart my stream, and I didn't know if it was YouTube or internet connection or what. I'm just now getting where I can talk. My face usually isn't this big through here, but I lost the battle with, oh, Virginia. Yeah, you got me on that one. Yeah, I lost a battle with an oral surgeon who's supposed to be taking out teeth across the top and the bottom, and he used a whole day's worth. Couldn't give me any more local anesthetic, and didn't even get half of the top part that he was working on done. And I tried to tell him morphine doesn't work on me, so I have a high metabolism. You got to work fast once you put any anesthetic in my body, or else you might as well put me to sleep. And I'd been there twice before getting everything set up. And me telling them this, common sense should have crossed their mind instead of greed and say, hey, you need to go to this oral surgeon first instead of coming here. That way they can sedate you because we don't do sedation. So now I've got to have it all redone again. And I've got stitches all in my mouth, and they're already coming loose, and they're like, well, we need you back Tuesday so we can take the stitches out. No, thank you. I'll do it myself. I've taken all stitches I've ever had out myself. I'm working on a master's degree and I'm taking biology, so I think I can take out my own stitches, but thank you for offering. Horrible experience. Needless to say, I haven't told them my ranking on Google as far as Google Maps is concerned and being their travel guide where I answer questions. Yeah, they're not going to get a very good review because I get several emails a week wanting me to answer questions about places I've been. Yeah, I hate oral surgeons and dentists. That's why I'm going ahead and having them all done at once and just be done with it. And after reading all through the paperwork, I figured out that they say it's going to be this much, but they're going to get you every year when you go back to have things readjusted or whatever. So no, it's just like I'm finding another oral. I'm not even going to the oral surgeon they recommend. Screw them. I don't want nothing to do with anything associated with them. They butchered me so bad. And I'm going to use a different oral surgeon and just say, you know what? You've already made the dentures. Send those to me. I'll let my new oral surgeon fit them. And then I'm not even going to deal with them for anything else. Other than if something breaks on the appliance, then I'll carry it back because it's a lifetime warranty. They got to fix it then. But as far as them putting their hands in my mouth, no, that will never happen again. And this was Tuesday, and I've already got stitches that are coming loose. But luckily for me, I planned ahead and I ate well and had plenty of iron, so I didn't bleed very much, and they were surprised at that. And I said, "I'm not as stupid as you think," because I didn't tell them I had that I've got 2 degrees, so I didn't let them know that I was educated. Never let anybody know just exactly how much education you have because it's fun to watch them try to take advantage of you and then lose their ass whenever you finally let them know that you can tell they're bullshit. Hey, Jim, I finally made it to a live stream this week. I was telling Virginia, who's got a new name, Thrifty VG, that had a bad experience with an oral surgeon, and I'm just not getting where I can talk again, and my face is still swollen. You should have seen it Wednesday. I could have put a baseball hat on each side of my face. I was so swollen. My mom came by to see me, and I told her I looked like my damn Uncle Tommy. And that made her laugh, and it made me laugh, and it made it hurt to laugh. Exactly. They'll try to rip you off then. And they didn't want to send me home with pain medication either, because I've got the back injury, and they think that I take Percocet all the time. And it's like, look, I told you whenever you had the nerve to tell me that the Tylenol and an Advil together would work just as well as Percocet, that I knew the difference because I broke my back and I spent 3 months laying flat. I didn't tell you I take Percocet every day. I don't take it unless I have to. And I don't have any right now, but I can go see my family doctor tomorrow and I can get a prescription if I need it. But you're not going to send me home from here with nothing for pain. They didn't like that too well. And then they didn't like the fact that I complained about the antibiotic that they prescribed me too, because it was just, oh, they could have given me tetracycline, this broad spectrum, works on gram positive and gram negative bacteria. But no, they sent me home with an antibiotic that was selected for only gram negative bacteria. It doesn't work on gram positive. So I'm still liable to get an infection. So I've got to be very careful. So I've missed work all week because I don't need to be out in this weather at nighttime with the wind blowing. And I can't lean over or anything because if the blood rushes to my head, it can rupture sutures and I'll start bleeding. And it's like, no, I just lost a week's worth of work for nothing. But I figured out what they had done correctly and what they didn't get to do and what they didn't do correctly and what the refund should be. And and when I get there, the place couldn't take a check for the full amount. Why are you going to charge people more money than what you can take a check for? Expected me to write 2 checks, and luckily I'd only gone with 1 check, but I had my sister with me, so she put part of it on her credit card and then wrote a check for the other part. But they refunded back actually $3 more than what I calculated that they owed me. So the only good thing about it was it was easy to deal with them on that aspect. But as far as the treatment itself, they were a bunch of damn quacks, and I didn't want to cause a scene that day. And it's probably a good thing that I didn't because I was already hurting and ill, and I just wanted to be nice and get the hell out of there and go home. Because I took Percocet with me because I wasn't no damn fool. Because they gave me a prescription for Tramadol. That's like taking 2 Tylenol at one time. Bullshit stuff like that. And I was just ready to get out of the office door so I could take one of my Percocets and go home. And I've slept in this chair ever since because I'm a stomach sleeper. So I tried one night to go to sleep in the bed. Last night before last, I tried that, and it's like, no, this ain't gonna work. I can't sleep on my back, and I'll roll. And it's like, nope, back to the chair. So I've been planted here since Tuesday afternoon, except to go outside and feed up. And my sister got a kick out of it because I told her, I said, we're going to get home about 6, and the goats will be in the front yard waiting on me. I said, they get out every day at the same time because they know it's the time that I go out and I feed them. And sure enough, the goats were out and they were standing by my car. She was just dying laughing. And I'm like, I told you, they can tell time. I swear they can tell time. which they're outside on the front porch right now. I ain't bothered to put them up, but one time since I got home Tuesday, I said, you know what? Y'all just stay out. Stay off the highway and it's good. So they stay off the highway. They just keep eating at my rose bushes. But luckily they haven't bothered my sweet potato slips that I got sprouting out there. They're about yay tall, and goats love sweet potato vines, but they've only bit them once, but they haven't bothered them again. I figure they must be smart enough to wait for them to grow up to be enough to have a mouthful. But my sister just laughed at those goats. And I was on Farm Mall Fanatics. I don't know how you call his live stream. Is it an auction or what? I mean, it sounds like I'm at an auction listening to him. But I had about 7 or 8 people jump over and subscribe just from just seeing my name go up on the screen because I'm making fun of him talking like an auctioneer. And they all of them commented on the goats. So I reckon I might as well stop doing farm videos and just do goat videos. And I was on Facebook with a friend of mine that she's finally decided to talk to me after about a year and a half of not talking to me. And I was telling her the goats were outside at the window looking in at me. She goes, I want to see them. I'm like, hold on. And by the time I got there, the goat already got down on them. So earlier this afternoon, after I got off with her, they got back up there and they're standing their little hooves up on the windowsill looking in at me. And I got a video of it, about a minute's worth, and I sent it to her. She was dying laughing at my goats because she hasn't been out here. She hasn't seen me since before I moved out here. Yeah, my goats are definitely funny. I just wish I could pet the other two, but I guess that's what makes them lovable is because they won't let me get it. They'll come around me, but if I reach my hand out, they back off. Don't touch me. Just put the food in the bucket. Back away, human. And the other one will come up to me and rub all over me and blow in my ear whenever I sit on the steps. It's like, Billy, I'm not giving you any more. You already had your sweet feed for today. No, it's not going to work. Don't try to charm me. But yeah, those goats, they're something else. No, they're trying to get me to come back out. And later on, I could probably go out there with the flashlight and shine the light at the gate to the pasture, and they'll be out there by the door, hoping that I'll come out with some sweet feed to pour in the feeder in the pasture and open the gate and let them in. So that way they can get out tomorrow thinking they can bribe me into putting them back with some more sweet feed, but it don't work that way. I done got smart about how they think. They've learned to get out because they've learned that that's how I get them back in is through bribing them. And it's like, nope, that ain't working no more. Whenever I get to where I can, and I'm a little bit better, I've got some woven wire, it's either sheep or goat fencing I've got. I'm going to unroll it in the spot where they like to get out and weave it between the trees, and I'm going to stretch it good and tight. Yeah, they're really going to love me then. Either that or they're going to learn how to jump. If I can get a couple more videos of them standing at the window to where it's at least 2 or 3 minutes long instead of 40 seconds, I probably will post it on YouTube. Because it is funny whenever you're standing there eyeball to eyeball with a goat looking in the window at you, and it's like you can just imagine the conversation that's going on in their mind. It's like, You mind coming outside? I need to talk to you. Bring that bucket with you if you don't mind. And I gave them some boiled peanuts today, and they were good as long as I fed them to them one or two at a time. But once I decided to pour out the rest of them, they didn't want them then. No, they expected me to give it to them one at a time. No, they don't want to eat them off of a bowl or off of a feeder. They wanted one at a time off my front porch. Didn't want them out the grass. Didn't want them out the feeder. They wanted them off the front porch. I guess they're gonna move in up there on the front porch. I don't know. But you should have seen my mom, 70 something years old, 78 years old, trying to. She didn't want to step on any, and there wasn't a whole lot out there this morning. It's like, no, don't worry, you ain't gonna step on any. There's a clear path. They leave a path in the middle for me to walk. Oddly enough, I don't know how they do it. But she thought that was funny. I said, "Yeah, you think it's funny. I'm the one that's got to come out here 2 or 3 times a week and hose the front porch off because they come up here because every day at 4 o'clock they get out." And then my dad, all he does, he tells me I don't need stuff like that, and I'm like, "Well, hell, I ain't got to mow grass for them. They save me a lot of labor. I ain't got to spend money on gas for the lawnmower or nothing. I just put them where I need them, and they do all the work. In the summertime, they don't cost me anything to feed." But now he's kind of took a liking to him too, which is pretty neat because my dad is a very contrary old guy, very contrary. But I think he likes the goats too because Billy just walked right up to him like, "Hey, you got something in your pocket for me? Give me a treat. You know you an old man. I can knock you down. You better have a cookie in your pocket. Give me something." And then she just look up at him, meet him eyeball to eyeball. He kind of chuckled at that. But it has been one hell of a week. And I've got to catch video of these goats because Easy Boy, he's sitting in my lap now sleeping. He's been by my side since I got home Tuesday. He'll go outside long enough to do his thing, and then he comes on back in. But the other one, he's always wanting to be right between my feet, up my butt all the time, and he can't stand it because I got him outside. I don't want to deal with him. But he got to come in today when my mom came in because she's slow when I open the door for her. And he shot in, boy, and it's like, "Morgan, do you want him in here?" "No, not really, but he'll be all right for now. I'll feed him in here. That way I ain't got to worry about feeding the cats down the road if I feed him outside. I'll put him out in a little while." But the goats, if he gets in the way of their feed, because this cat will eat sweet feed now. He'll eat anything. I ain't found nothing this cat won't eat. And he'll get out there and try to get that sweet feed with him. And one of them goats does not like it. And she'll take them old horns and pick him up and toss him like a rag. And I've got to get that on video because it's just too funny to see that goat just headbutt that old cat. But I was hoping things would have gone a whole lot better with the oral surgeon. so that I could have done some gardening this week before I go back to school on Monday and start work back next week. I just went ahead and told them today. I said, just go ahead and replace me for the rest of the week. I'm not coming out in this weather. I'm not getting sick for it. It ain't worth it. If it's a Billy, not like my Billy, but if it's a buck, they stink. They'll pee all over their beard and everything. Yeah, Cell Kitty's a garbage pail cat. That's for sure. Hey, VD honey, how you doing? Well, the tooth fairy didn't get all of them that he was supposed to get. I told him, like I was telling the other guys how many times a few minutes ago, that I've got a high metabolism and morphine doesn't work on me and it doesn't work on my dad. And whenever you tell a surgeon this, maybe something ought to click in their head to say, maybe you need to go somewhere where they do sedation. We don't do sedation here. They used an entire day's worth of local anesthetic, and they got 1/4 of this side done on the upper, and they got a little over 2/3 of this side on the upper done. And they didn't get any work on the lower part done at all. So I'm going to have everything redone. And they just don't realize that I'm going to tell them, hey, the the appliances that you made, send them to this surgeon over here because I'm not even using the oral surgeon they suggest. I don't want nothing to do with them anymore. Yeah, I stayed awake. Stayed awake the night before, that day, that afternoon when I got home, that night. I slept for maybe 2 hours. I slept for about 2 or 3 hours Wednesday night. Last night, I slept about 5 hours in a row. So it's taken that long for me to get to where I can actually talk, and you can still see the swelling in my face. It's gone down a whole lot. But yeah, and if I'd have known they didn't do sedation at all, I would have never gone there. Because whenever I had my wisdom teeth taken out at 19, they almost had to sedate me. But luckily, it wasn't near as bad as what the doctor thought, because he thought he lost a piece of tooth in the gum and cut me from back here up to around here, looking for a piece of tooth that didn't break off. And he thought he was going to have to sedate me. So I'll never go to a dentist. Well, after this, I won't have to worry about being sedated for dental work. One more time, and I'm done with it. There'll be no more of that. Oh, let's see. How many did they get? They got 5 or 6. Let's see. 16 minus 4. They got 7. Man, you're just not planting strawberries. Strawberries are on sale down here where I am. Tea tree oil will do you the best for your sunburn. But if you want to take the burn out of it, rub some Bengay on it, or even Orajel. Orajel would probably even be the best because it's got the lidocaine in it, and that'll take all that sunburn feeling away from you. I've got to get some strawberries. I want to use them as ground cover after I finally get the goats fenced in properly. Oh, well, the strawberries that they grow down here to sell, they're nothing to write home about, I promise you. These farm raised strawberries that you get at the grocery store, that's exactly what they are. I mean, they've just got a strawberry flavor. They're not sweet. Yeah, Noxzema will work pretty good on it too. But now, homegrown strawberries, I prefer the June bearing that only bear once, and then I get some that are ever bearing that'll produce through the summer. That way, I've still got strawberries. But homegrown are so much better because they're a lot sweeter because you actually take care of them and you're not trying to just grow them as fast as you can with a lot of nitrogen just to get them big and pull them off and throw them in a grocery store. I don't like grocery store. About the only thing that actually tastes normal out of a grocery store is a green bean, and that ain't even good to me. I mean, I just that's why I grow so many different things in my garden. Is the produce, fresh produce and canned produce at the grocery store just does not compare to homegrown. Yeah, whenever I do Everbearing, mine will go until November too. But I usually grow a lot more June bearing because they're sweeter than the Everbearing. But I like to have some all year long, so I do a little bit of the Everbearing, and then I do a main crop of June bearing, so that way I can go ahead and put some in the freezer. I'm excited for a fresh tomato myself, and I sell kitty. I had the 34, 35 that I had. I'm down to four. Only 4 or 5 lived out of it, and that's because a couple more sprouted up afterwards. Because when he dumped the tray over, they all broke, and it was a bad night for him. 4 o'clock in the morning, you done woke me up, and then I come here and see what you did. Oh, it was a bad night for him. He was fly kitty that night because he flew out the front door. And that's the last night he's got to stay inside too. It ain't so cold he can't handle it out there in the great wide open. And I don't even know what these are, if they're Cherokee purple or if they're the green sausage. Hopefully, I'll have a green sausage, at least one, because I've got more Cherokee purple seed. I can plant some more of them. And then I bought some, what did I get? Some purple tomatillos. And then I bought some beefsteak, and I'm not expecting a whole lot out of the beefsteak, but it's just an old heirloom variety. Hopefully, I'll get something off of them before the disease kills them. But I'm gonna have to go and buy me some tomato plants pretty soon that's got a good disease resistance. If I buy from Bonnie, I have pretty good luck with celebrity. That's a pretty good variety for where I live. They've got a pretty good disease tolerance. Yeah, I like beefsteaks. Hey, Beast family, how you doing? I'm recuperating from losing a battle with an oral surgeon. I'm finally able to talk again, so I'm on the mend and dreaming of fried chicken like you wouldn't believe. Fried chicken and crispy bacon. Oddly enough, that's the two things that I want more than anything in the world. Can't have them. Yeah, they've got me on antibiotic, and they didn't want to send me home with pain medication because I, they know I have a broken back, so they just automatically assume I've always got pain meds on hand. And it's like, no, I don't always have. Which I made preparations and got pain meds ahead of time because I knew how these people were. And I can understand a lot of doctors not wanting to prescribe opiates and stuff like that. But when you got the nerve to tell somebody that you don't give out opioids and you're going to cut on the top and bottom of somebody's mouth and take teeth out and replace them, and you got the nerve to tell them that a Tylenol and an Advil together does just as well as oxycodone, you're full of shit. Excuse my French. Hey, J Dog. Yeah, you got me with that clickbait today. I saw them JOBs. I watched that vlog or that live stream. I caught it late, but it was already over. But I watched it. That was pretty good though. Yeah, they wrote me a prescription for tramadol, which is basically overglorified Tylenol. Two Tylenol do the same as one tramadol will. But I made preparations and I didn't act an ass whenever they got everything screwed up because they used a whole day's worth of local anesthetic and didn't even get 2/3 of the top done like they were supposed to, and they had to stop. And if they'd have told me they weren't a sedation place to begin with, I would have went somewhere else. Because whenever you tell them the morphine don't work on you, and it don't work on your daddy, and it runs in your family, the painkillers don't work on you because we got high metabolisms. No, I just wanted to get out of that place that day because I had Percocet waiting on me in the car. And as soon as I got in the car, I looked at my sister and I said, "Just take me to a store and get a Coke. I want to pee and get a Coke because I'm going to take my meds." And then they gave me an antibiotic that only works on gram-negative bacteria. It doesn't work on gram-positive. It's like, okay, you're giving me an antibiotic off the $4 list. Great. You could have given me tetracycline, a sulfa drug, which will work on gram-positive and gram-negative. So I'm still susceptible to half of the bacteria that'll make you sick. So I've got to be very careful with what I eat and drink. So I stick with just tea, water, then a Coke, water, water, then tea, then water, water. Rinse my mouth out with salty water. An antibacterial rinse. Oh my God, it's nasty. Ugh. But yeah, not. Oh, I'm feeling better now. You should have seen me Tuesday. My face was all. I could have wore a baseball cap on both sides of my face, and I was ill as a hornet, but I controlled my mouth because normally I have a tendency to speak my mind freely, but I held my tongue that day because they owed me money back. And whenever I figured it up, they actually refunded me more than what I figured that they owed me. $3 more, but hey, it's $3 more than I would have had. No, I haven't really had a chance to do much watching videos lately. I've done a lot of afternoon napping because I haven't been able to sleep at night with this surgery that I had. But I've been trying to catch up on some of the videos today, and I watched J Dogs earlier, and I watched. I've only watched about 3 videos. Other than that, I've been trying to sleep as best I can, and then check on another friend of mine that she had to have surgery on her knee, and she had a heart replacement at 27 years old. So she had to have hers done locally too, like I did, except they did a spinal block. And they did that yesterday. So I, spent time trying to check on her. And since they didn't have a cardiac team there that was top notch, they weren't going to put her to sleep, and she wasn't going to let them put her to sleep with that heart replacement. But she's doing all right. She fell down about a week and a half ago and messed her knee up, and they had to go in and clean it all out. Tonight I'm probably going to rest pretty good because last night I actually slept for about 5 hours in a row. Yeah, I'm working toward getting dentures. I spent a lot of my younger years running around with the hippies from the 1960s. I spent about 3 years running around with those guys in their VW microbuses with the tie dye and all that, and I neglected myself a little bit. And once it starts, it's hard to get caught back up, especially whenever you can't get dental insurance because everywhere you work, they'll give you health insurance, but they don't want to give you vision or dental. And what good's your health if you can't see or you can't eat? I don't know. Yeah, getting old does suck. You might as well say she's a family member. That's my oldest and dearest friend. We call each other brother and sister. We've known each other since I was 17 and she was 15. And we were stuck with each other from the get go. The Lord blessed me with that girl. All right, Virginia, you have a good night. But yeah, Missy, that's my best friend in the world. She's When we were younger, I saw her. She'd tell guys straight to their face, "Me and this guy don't date, but wherever I go, he goes. Wherever he goes, I go. So if you can't put up with that, then we don't need to date. We don't need to go out. We can be friends, and that's it." She's broke up with guys over me. Three that I could name right offhand that to this day still don't like me because she broke up with them over me, and me and her never dated. We were always just brother and sister. Yeah, that's my one and only friend like that. And I lost another one. Monday was a week ago that they buried him. So today was 2 weeks ago that he died of a mass. This one ain't even friends. She's family. But now I'm down to about 3 people that I can trust with my life. I've never been one to have a bunch of people around or be close friends with a bunch of people because you just open yourself up to be hurt. And I've never had more than 5 close friends in my entire life. And she's the closest. And that guy he was a he was a close friend of hers too. And she was so upset. She works for the state, and she had mandatory training in Atlanta, Georgia, and she couldn't go to the viewing or to the memorial service because she had to be in Atlanta, and it broke her heart. But I told her, I said, it's they understand because we've got a couple friends in common that, you know, I explained to them why she wasn't there, and I signed her name in the book and everything. And they said, "Well, where's Missy?" And I told them what was going on. They said, "Oh, okay, we understand." I don't even need a whole hand to count my people on. I can tell you how many people I can count on right there. A chicken got more toes than I got friends I can count on, or friends that I can trust with my life. But yeah, I was hoping to get a lot of gardening done this week, and that's not going to happen. It's not in the cards. I can't take a chance on getting out there in the dirt and messing around and then winding up getting some kind of bacteria that I didn't wash my hands well enough and get sick from it. So, needless to say, I come in and wash my hands twice after I get the eggs from the chicken coop. Wash my hands, dry them, turn around, wash them again in hottest water I can stand. But I've just now been able to start the day catching up on a little bit of YouTube videos. So I'm gonna get to yours beach and check that out because anytime kids want to learn, I'm all about letting them. Well, thank you, Beach, and I'll be checking out your video because I'm all about when the youngins want to help, never discourage them. Even if they get it wrong, pat them on the back and say, "Good job." At least they're trying, and they'll get better the longer they do it. Which is probably not going to be long before I try and get some rest myself because this old white boy is tired. The only good thing I can think of that come out of this is I have an excuse to make a cake mix up and eat it without baking it first. But then I thought about it. No, I better not do that. Yeah, especially whenever they gave me a piss poor antibiotic that only covers one type of bacteria instead of both. And I let them know that too. They looked at me and I'm like, yeah, I'm getting a master's degree in biology. Micro was one of my favorite subjects, and I know about gram negative and gram positive bacteria, and you gave me an antibiotic that only works on gram negative bacteria. You should have given me a broad spectrum. They're on the $4 list too. But at least I can say it has been civil in the discourse between us and the discussion of the refund and everything that has happened since Tuesday morning. You know, most places want to argue with you over how much money they think they're owed. I give them credit for being honest and not trying to take more than what they were entitled to. But that's all I can give them credit for because I was really not happy with the service. Because I sat in that chair and about 5 minutes before he said that that was about all he could do, I asked the Lord, I said, Lord, don't let these people do anything to me that's going to hurt me. Take care of me. And the next thing I know, that guy's sewing up what he'd had done. He said, look, I've got to refer you to an oral surgeon that does sedation because we can't give you any more local anesthetic. We've hit the daily limit. And I'm thinking in my mind, oh, thank God this is over with. And then I thought, oh, shit, I got to go through this all again. But it was a blessing to finally be done for the day because he just wasn't working fast enough to keep up with the anesthesia. And whenever I'm pointing to here and trying to say front, I know where the nerves are. And they had no idea at the time, but I knew where the nerves are. And I'm trying to say, look, front nerve, not back nerve. Hit the front nerve and you'll be okay. You can finish the top. No, he kept putting in the back and he kept missing the nerve. Hell, the shot was hurting worse than the damn procedure. Yes, I do. And I still have some strawberry ice cream in the refrigerator freezer. I'm glad you said that. I think I'm going to eat that before I go to bed. But I appreciate all you guys stopping in tonight. It's really nice to know there's a few folks that are loyal, steady viewers. Nah, you didn't miss anything. It ain't important. It's over with now. But I am going to eat that ice cream I got in the freezer, and I'm glad you reminded me of that. But at least I've got some loyal people who have subbed to me. A few came over from Farmall Fanatics live stream, and one woman from Africa that all she does is clothing design. She subbed me, and I know she just wants me to sub her back. And it's like, no, that ain't gonna happen. In 2 days from now, you're gonna unsub me because what's a woman from Africa wanting to learn about agriculture in Georgia going to subscribe to my channel for? You're making clothes, and that's all you do. You're just hoping I sub to you, and that ain't happening. But about 8 or 9 subbed me from over there, and I figure 2 or 3 of them will stick around because most of those are the ones that commented about the goats. everybody just loves my goats. You know, all these other channels, they put their goats up there and nobody comments about their goats, but everybody comments about my goats. I guess my goats just have more personality. Yeah, I cannot stand the shots for the local. Oh my lord! And they smear that real thick Orajel like crap in your mouth first to numb it up a little bit, which don't really do nothing except deaden the outside. And it's got this god awful fake cherry cough syrup taste, and it's like ugh. What I deserve is a kick in the ass for picking that place and listening to the people who'd been there and said they had good service. They've got a TV commercial too that says, "Where'd you get that smile?" And then there's a lawyer that does um, malpractice and auto insurance, auto accident claims. I was about to, if they hadn't refunded my money the way I thought it should be, I was about to say when somebody asked me where I got my smile, I'm gonna tell them Mike Hostelo, just like the commercial says. I already had that one planned out, but they were easy to deal with on that. But I guess tomorrow, if I feel up to it, I'm gonna make a goat video and put it up since everybody loves the goats. Maybe I'll sit the goats down and we'll have a panel discussion. That's pretty good because we're at 52 minutes and I've got this much cigarette left. And I was going to say, I'm finished my cigarette and I think I'm going to call it a night, guys. Well, being able to do this tonight's made me feel a whole lot better. And I thank all of you guys for stopping by. I mean, you guys don't know what a blessing it is to have people that like to, yeah, now Rob, I like him. He's put out a couple of videos that I got to catch up on too. Because I've been keeping up with his mushrooms, and I think one of them was a mushroom video. But it's nice to know that I've got some that sub me that are really interested in what I have to say. You ain't got to be in your 20s and figuring out stuff on your own and don't want to listen to somebody older than you that has experience. Because I'm pretty sure if you saw Deep South Homestead's Porch Time Tuesday, which was the last video that I watched before all this, because I got to watch it that morning before I left to go have the butcher work on me. Yeah, people don't want to. They want to see the young, pretty ones. They don't care about the experience or the know-how. They'd rather watch somebody young and pretty fall flat on their face and not learn anything than they would watch somebody who's been there and done that and take that information and go with it. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream and thank you very much for stopping by. Get your kitty cats in because it's probably still pretty chilly where you are. Yeah, Jim been in hiding all this time over there, ain't been saying nothing. But I appreciate you stopping in, Jim. Yeah, they always put that one suction thing in one side, and then they go around with the other one, and they never get the back where you can actually get it out. And you're sitting there trying to breathe through your nose, and the local anesthesia's got your nose all swollen up, and you can barely get any air through it to begin with. At least whenever I finally get this all finished, I'll wake up and it'll be done. No more of Adolf Hitler's torture. And I never knew Adolf Hitler went to dental school. Or was that Joseph Stalin? It was one of those dictators. Well, that ain't no good if you're dancing and you got leg cramps. Better get you some potassium. That potassium will really help you out there if you got enough in your system. You're prone to that. Oh, so that the video he had about the mushrooms was an old one? Yeah, I'll watch it again. He's got to get his 4,000 hours so he can get monetized. Yeah, I've heard a lot of folks complain about leg cramps, and some of them it doesn't matter if they take potassium or not, they still have the leg cramps. But it could be the water. That is a possibility. Ah, you're like me. You're prone to overdoing it sometimes when you get busy. When I get busy, I'll overdo it sometimes because I'm in the middle of something and I'm not going to stop till I finish. Yeah, that's what this place was. They were supposed to do them all at once and be done with it. But I'm one of the lucky few that get to do it twice. So then I can miss another week of work. In about a month, I'll probably miss another week of work. Affordable my behind. I got the good dentures, the ones that cost. But they were about $1,000 cheaper than everywhere else. But then again, for that other $1,000, I could have went somewhere that did sedation and been done with it all at once. Let me take this antibiotic. Oh, I'm not. As soon as we get off here, because I'm fixing to take my antibiotic now. That way, it'll get in my system before the ice cream. Because milk will actually kill antibiotics. So if I take this now and then wait about 30 minutes and then go eat my ice cream, the antibiotic's already in my bloodstream before the milk hits my bloodstream, so the antibiotic works. But let that be a lesson there. If a doctor ever gives you antibiotics, don't drink milk. It will kill the antibiotics. But once you get through taking the antibiotics, you want to get yogurt that's got the live culture in it. That way, if the antibiotics killed all the beneficial bacteria in your gut and you get diarrhea, the live culture in the yogurt will replace that bacteria and you won't have diarrhea. I was hoping he would start putting some of his older material up from that other channel because I hadn't gotten through watching all of his videos the first time around before they snatched his channel from him. And oddly enough, my little rant about him and them, the way they did him pulling his channel, accusing him of sub for sub, that video that I did about that got more attention than any of my other videos. And people are still watching it. But YouTube really did him wrong on that because he was not suggesting sub for sub whatsoever. I bet smoked oysters would do really good for cramps. I don't know about bitchiness because I can be bitchy just about at the drop of a hat. But I might have to go check out some oysters because I did have fried oysters Tuesday before they did the surgery for lunch, and they were good at a Japanese steakhouse in Savannah. And it was those fried oysters were fried to perfection. They were not too crunchy. The bread was just crispy enough on the outside, and there was still just enough moisture to be slightly juicy on the inside. Man, they were awesome. Little old Japanese lady was the cook. Authentic Japanese. They were fried in panko. Man, they were amazing. And sleepy time tea. That's a plant that I haven't grown that I need is chamomile. I like sleepy time tea myself. I I just like the way chamomile tastes. But anyway, you get your kitties in before they get cold up there in Long Island or before they wind up associating with the wrong crowd. Because I've seen some videos of some of the corrupt police officers up there in Long Island, and I'd hate for your cats to get involved with that kind of organized crime. And Jim, it was nice to see you here again tonight, and I hope those cramps ease up on you so you can get some sleep tonight. Because that's exactly what I'm going to try to do in about an hour. Maybe catch up on a few YouTube videos in the meantime. I need to check out the Beach Family Homestead and see what's going on with them. So thank you guys for stopping by, and I appreciate the loyalty you guys have whenever I'm on, because we always have a great conversation no matter what it's about. It always does my heart good to have a good conversation with rational people. So you guys have a good night and enjoy the weekend. And don't work yourself too hard tomorrow, Jim. Just take it easy for a little while. And I will try and do a live stream maybe later on this weekend or definitely next week sometime. So we'll meet up again soon. You guys have a great evening and get some sleep and enjoy the weekend. Thanks a lot for stopping in. I don't blame you. Get it done while you can. I'm the same way. Once I get on a roll and I get behind, it's catch up time. Yeah, antibiotics can they really do tear up your stomach real bad. And if you know you got to take them ahead of time, go ahead and get those probiotics and start taking them. That way, that'll be helping before the antibiotics get in there and do their job and wipe all the good stuff out. But you guys have a great night. Thanks for stopping in, and we will talk to you soon. Yeah. So I'm hoping he gets those rebroadcast pretty soon, and I can catch up on what I didn't get to see the first time around. Because he's got some interesting stuff going on, and I'm enjoying watching what he's got going on with his new place too. Although I'm going to really enjoy seeing how he goes from the Georgia Florida state line to Washington D.C. and Virginia. It's a whole different animal when it comes to gardening. Well, I'm glad you found me through him, and as a matter of fact, I need to check that out because I hadn't talked to old Rob in a couple weeks, and normally we're back to whenever we do a video. I don't think I've heard from him on the last video that I did, which is unusual because Rob's usually one of the first ones to comment. So I probably ought to see how the old fellow's doing because I like him. But you guys have a good one, and thanks for stopping. God bless both of you.